frustrating us single people have to go through. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things that our friends in relationships can get for free, we have to pay for. And there's no amount of self-love or therapy that can kind of circumvent the frustration that being single is very expensive. Because if, an example, I am sick, I don't have anyone who can cook for me. My friend can ask her boyfriend to cook for her. I have to DoorDash something. If I need help moving something in my house, I need to go find someone and pay that person to come over and move it. Well, my friend can just ask her partner. And all those things just add up. If you lose your job, you have someone who can help you with rent. If you are having like financial trouble or health trouble, you now need to like disclose that to your family or friends, which might be embarrassing, or you can tell your one husband or your wife to help you through that. It is so frustrating to have to go through so many things alone and make these really big decisions, hard decisions completely by myself. I have my friends, I have my family, I love them, I can lean on them, but maybe I don't want to tell them all about my finances. Maybe I don't want to have to over-explain.
For years, the assumption was simple. A man alone would struggle. The narrative pushed the idea that without a relationship, a man's life would be unstable, disorganized, and financially chaotic. Meanwhile, relationships were framed as the smarter, safer path, especially in a tough economy. But 2026 is flipping that assumption on its head.
So I have zero shame in telling a man that after 3 months you are paying my bills. And if you're not, bye-bye.
Oh, I can hear the hearts just breaking from here.
There's 7 billion people in the world. If you can't do it, somebody else will. So I have no shame. I'm kind of sort of trying to find somebody to bring me food every once in a while. Like, talking to a guy and I said, yeah, after 3 months you pay my bills. And he said, no.
That's not surprising at all, because it sounds like that man actually has some self-respect.
Like, a guy knows, like, oh, if I really like her and she's not crazy, yeah, I would pay her bills. Maybe I threw it out there too soon.
Maybe you just shouldn't have thrown it out there at all.
Men don't understand the investment and the benefit and how we're trying to make sure that we're not getting played. I can't help you, men. Don't talk to us. You're not the one. We're not talking to brokies.
Fortunately, not all women think like this, but unfortunately, it is the ones that do that tend to speak the loudest, and are the main reason that a lot of men are choosing to remain happily single.
A growing number of single men are not only surviving, they're actually doing fine. No panic, no collapse, no visible struggle. Instead of drowning under financial pressure, many of these men seem to have figured out a system that works for them. And that's where the confusion starts.
I've seen so many posts of people asking how are single-income individuals surviving this economy, and let me just tell you what I do. I live in the hood. No luxury apartment for me. The bullets never bothered me anyway. If you go ahead and mind your business, you'll be okay. Make sure that my unit has heat included, because if you live in a cold state, you know that heat bill can be insane every winter season. I'm only responsible for my cooking gas, my light bill, and my rent. If your light bill is insanely too high, you can go on this plan with ComEd if that's who you use, but I would suggest calling your electricity company and saying if you go on this plan where they have you pay a set amount. Now, if you go over that set amount that you are paying monthly, once you cancel that plan, you will be responsible for that. But if you need like a budget-friendly amount that you can pay monthly right now, that's a good option for you. I freeload off my sister's Costco card. If you know anybody with a Costco card, just go to Costco with them. I get these same specific things. I get a big bag of frozen vegetables. I get a big bag of breakfast sausages. It's like the chicken kind. And I get a carton of eggs. And those 3 things will last me for like the whole month. Breakfast, I eat the same thing. I either eat toast with it or I eat like some oatmeal with it, and this breakfast sausage and some boiled eggs. I get a rotisserie chicken every week, and that one rotisserie chicken, you can make multiple meals out of it. I either eat it with the frozen vegetables, or I make some gravy and I eat it over white rice, or I make some chicken fried rice. You can also make like a panini sandwich with it as well. So every week on groceries, I'm literally probably spending like $20, honestly, with the rotisserie chicken, and if I need to replace like the rice, or if I want to get like some beans or something, or if I want to get like a salad to go with it. Maybe $30 max. If your Wi-Fi bill is too expensive, cancel it and call the next day, and they will give you the new price, customer pricing. Do not call and say, can I get this reduced or anything like that. They're never going to give you a good deal. They're always going to try to upsell you and tell you that there is nothing that they can do. Just cancel it, call the next day, get the new customer pricing. For my insurance, my car insurance, I pay it every 6 months instead of monthly, because if you pay it monthly, you're going to get that service fee, so you're going to end up paying more. Car is thankfully paid off, and if I don't have to drive to the location, I will just walk or take public transportation. I have a 7-year-old car, and I only have 45,000 miles on it. I also get my gas from Costco as well. If your rent is going up to an insane, unmanageable amount after your year lease expires, go ahead and move. There are so many apartment complexes that are offering discount move-in fees and things of that nature. Just move. People are going to be like, well, it costs money to move. That one-time fee to move compared to your monthly payments, it's going to end up being cheaper. Without the budgeting, I am able to splurge if I want to go out to eat, if I want to go and do something, or if I want to buy something for myself. I put it directly on my credit card because it gives me an extra month to pay that off. So every 2 weeks when you get paid, just use a portion of your check to pay that off. I I will also, if you are employed, check with your company to see if they have some type of incentive that they give you every year. My job does. I'm so thankful for that because I use that incentive yearly to go ahead and do like oil changes if I need to on my vehicle, get my brakes changed, if I need to get like a new tire or a new set of tires and things of that nature, I use that. Any services that you need to get done, don't call one place and just stick with that price. Call multiple places and find the cheapest option. Life is not amazing, but it's okay, and I'm comfortable with the way that I am living, so I can survive this economy.
Because from the outside it doesn't make sense. No shared income, no partner splitting expenses, no dual support system. Yet somehow these men are still stable. They're paying their bills, managing their responsibilities, and even saving and investing. So what changed?
It's killing relationships these days. No one wants something serious, bro. Everybody's 50-50. That shit. I'm used to like a provider. Yeah, everybody's like 50-50 now. Okay. That shit, bro.
Crying over guys who weren't even paying bills? Ghetto! Crying over guys who weren't even doing anything for you? Tacky!
Roast all you want, but accept that men are done with your entitlements.
Women want men to be in provide mode. But when we criticize, which is a form of emasculation, a man will retract from providing to protect. And if it's a direct attack, like on your character, you're just like your father. Now he's protecting himself. And that's what brings out the worst in men, when they're protecting themselves, because it overrides their compelling desire to protect others. They're the smallest version of themselves, and they're protecting themselves. And they could shut down, right? They could withdraw, or they could attack. And women cause men to attack, and then we think that's who men are. Women cause men to withdraw, and we think, oh, you ghosted me, right? We have all these accusations after we've caused it.
This is probably the only woman on the planet that understands accountability. This is amazing.
Somebody has some? You got some, right?
Yeah, I just feel like as we're not back in the days where men are providers.
Exactly. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Parents don't pick our spouse.
That's just not it.
Okay.
As far as like society nowadays,
Okay.
I feel like it should be equal.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
Men should not be the only providers.
All right.
I disagree. Women should also bring something to the table.
Okay.
Because back then, yeah, men were providers, but women weren't allowed to have jobs.
Okay, well here's
but
the
now
thing.
that we have jobs, I don't feel like men should be the only providers.
Okay, how you feel and what should or could or would is one thing, but we got to deal with reality, what is. The reality is that women are biologically hardwired to want men that make more money than them and have more status than them. So you can say, yo, it shouldn't be this way, but we're all human and attraction isn't a choice. You could say
A lot of men have simplified their lives. Fewer obligations, fewer expectations, fewer unnecessary expenses. When you remove the pressure to constantly impress, spend, and maintain a certain lifestyle, the financial equation becomes much easier to manage.
So when women are crying on that thing, it's just attention is all it is. And like even Home Math was talking about like how there are providers and there are like deservers. Women are always deservers. Like we deserve better. That's why I kept like whenever you want to know why people lose their shit when I'm on Twitter and I say, men, you don't owe women a better life. Women who feel like they deserve a better life at the provisioning of men, they're the first ones to pipe up. And men who believe the same thing give me grief. They want to hit back. That's the white knights wait their entire existence for me to tweet something like that. Say, he's one of the enemy. Let's hit him. Right? You owe women, Charlie Kirk. You owe women a better life. You know, God, where is fucking Aaron Clary when I need it? Like, yeah, it's whether it's economically or it's like ethically or morally or religiously or God knows whatever else. Right? You owe women a better life. Why? Because we've oppressed them for so long? Because of the patriarchy? The patriarchy that you as a conservative male think should be reinstated? If that's the case, then you don't owe women jack shit. You know, if you're going to either that or you better embrace the patriarchy. You better like with open arms, man, wholeheartedly just embrace the patriarchy.
Instead of stretching their resources thin trying to meet external expectations, many men are optimizing for efficiency. Smaller living spaces, controlled spending, focused priorities. It's not glamorous, but it's stable. And stability beats chaos.
I don't trust a man who doesn't have any desire to lock down a good woman. Like, bro, you're telling me you don't want a good woman to build a life with, to be your partner, to want to, like, do all this fun stuff with, to feed your heart, mind, body, and soul? A man who doesn't want to lock down a good woman is a man who will consistently fumble the bag. Take my word for it. And ladies, that is not a man. That is a little boy with man parts, okay? That's just what's happening. So you need to understand that if you are not being locked down, if you are a good woman, if you are a woman who has her shit together, who is smart, who builds her community, who loves herself, that is what makes you a good woman. And if there is a man in your life who is choosing to fumble his bag with you, then that is a boy. That is not.
Another factor is control. Single men have full control over their finances. No unexpected costs, no shared financial conflicts, no pressure to spend beyond their means. Every decision is calculated, every expense is intentional. That level of control creates something powerful: predictability.
Is quite literally unfair. That's the only way to balance it. Number one, the period cycle. This is a monthly evolution of ever-changing hormones that we cannot control. Sometimes we have too little, sometimes we have too much. Progesterone, estrogen, we just can't control that. Cortisol, up and down. It is radical, all while we're expected to manage those emotions and be productive members of society. And then the period that so graciously shows up every month. And don't get me wrong, for those of us that don't want kids, we are so ever so thankful that it shows up, but that does not negate the fact that sometimes it's brutal. Chunks of blood, staining of the chonies, staining of the pajamas, bloating and fatigue, extreme discomfort, and some women even have crippling, debilitating cramps. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Then there's carrying a child and that changing your entire chemical makeup, because once you form a baby with somebody, then you have their genes or whatever inside of you for like a prolonged period of time. Now y'all forever connected, forever changing who you are. Then you carry this whole ass human inside of you. Sometimes it's not very nice to you.
While others are juggling complex financial dynamics, these men are operating in a system where they know exactly what's coming in and what's going out. And in a volatile economy, that kind of clarity is a huge advantage.
I think there's this whole thing around girls wanting a guy to pay for everything, wanting like that wealthy person. And it's like, it kind of poses the question. It sets a precedent really early on. If a guy pays for everything and the girl like lets him, that like she expects it. So then we get to the point where like she never pulls her wallet out, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, there are plenty of guys out there that will pay for everything. They're a dime a dozen.
I've dated them. You've dated them.
And
well, maybe you haven't dated them.
I have not dated them.
You haven't dated anyone.
I haven't dated any of them. Sorry. But you've dated them. We've seen people date them.
Yeah.
Like we know the type. And it's like, you got to ask yourself, do you want the hotel room or do you want the guy you're in the hotel room with? Like, do you want that 5-star hotel room or do you want like the experience of who you're with? Because they can be the same thing. But I'm like, they can also be two very different things. Like, what are you looking for? And I think it's cool if a guy can pay for everything. But he's like, I'm not setting that precedent because there's plenty of guys out there that can pay for everything. And you've got a job. Like, if you want to buy one in every 4 to 5 things, like, great.
Hey, so I'm 31 years old, right? I got no house, no wife, no kids. You feel me? And it's kind of like a good part of my thought process sometimes throughout the day is the fact that, you know, I don't have a kid, a wife, or a house. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing. You feel me? Like, some days I be wishing that like I had a wife so I had my person. You feel me? Some days I be wishing that I had kids. But then I listen to my homies talk to their kids on the phone sometimes and then I be like, I ain't ready for that, right? Some days I wish I had a house. Other days I don't be tripping about a house. Put me in like a little penthouse or condo or something, I'm cool. I'm good off the houses, right? But I'm saying all this to say that like growing up, and then once I reached a certain age, I figured by 31 I would have my kids, have my house, and have my wife and all of that stuff because of, you know, situations I've been in before. And it just didn't turn out that way. You feel me? It didn't turn out that way. And I guess you fight a thing of like where you should be and where you actually are, or like where you want to be and where you actually are, and things like that. And it kind of like mind fuck you sometimes to make you think that you should be somewhere else than where you actually are, instead of just putting your feet on the ground and going day by day with where you at and what you got. And then you kind of like look at your peers and stuff. Like, I got a lot of homies that's either married and got kids and stuff like that, or just homies that got kids, or homies that got everything together, house, kids, wife, and all that good stuff. And it's kind of like, damn, you feel me? Like, I want the same thing, right? But I'm just not there yet. I'm in my own journey, they in their own journey. So I guess the message I'm giving y'all today is just like, put your feet on the ground, where you at, focus on where you at. Don't necessarily compare where you at to somewhere else. And you know what I'm saying? Just keep going. If it's meant for it to happen for you, it's going to happen.
Meanwhile, many men have shifted their focus toward long-term growth. Instead of short-term spending for validation or lifestyle, they're investing in skills, side hustles, and income streams. They're playing a different game, one built around sustainability instead of appearance. And that difference shows.
Oh, you just don't seem like the kind of guy that would settle down. No, I'm definitely that kind of guy. I just don't trust or believe that majority or any of you women have the capability of being treated correctly and appreciative of that nature and that life. Y'all indulge in drama-based TV shows. Y'all are always gossiping about things that have nothing to do with anything other than the fact that it gives you something to talk about because you need something to talk about all the time. You always need this rush of adrenaline through drama, through bullshit. And you want me to sit here and take you serious, feeling safe in doing so, knowing that I'm going to treat you right? When again, I know that you're fueled off of bullshit and bad behavior. I don't want to be single. I'm just afraid of giving something to a woman when I know good and well the woman's nature is not to appreciate that good something. It's that simple. And until I meet a woman who doesn't give me 80% or 90% or shows me a large percent of her appreciating a good man, I need not even 100, I need 110% clarity that you are that kind of woman. Otherwise, I will continue to stay single, clap cheeks, and stay unattached. Because so far, that life has been way happier.
I don't think y'all understand how hard dating is for men right now. Like, I'm supposed to like you without showing it. I'm supposed to like text you back within a couple of hours, even though I have my phone in my hand right now. And even though I really like you, I cannot show you my feelings because then you'll run away. And I can't bring you flowers right now or any type of gift because then I'll come off too strong. Don't believe me? I had a girl one time. Her name was Debbie. Debbie, if you're watching this, I hate you. You traumatized me. I brought her flowers and she hated them. She said, we're moving too fast. It was like 3 months. Ladies, please help us out. We're clueless. We don't know.
So when people ask how single men are surviving the economy, the answer is surprisingly simple. They reduce the chaos. Less pressure, less spending, more control. And once you remove the unnecessary weight, surviving doesn't look so difficult anymore.
You know what I find so crazy this day and age? Okay, women want to be taken care of, right? They're like, oh, I want a man who's going to pay all the bills. I want a man who's going to support me and blah, blah, blah. And I want to stay home. It is almost impossible for anyone to stay home unless your man is working 3 jobs, has another job, doing something he shouldn't be doing. I feel like in this day and age, it is impossible for you to rely on one income. How can you expect a man to pay all the bills and you do absolutely nothing? You bring nothing. I don't want to say you bring nothing to the table because maybe you cook, you clean, you bring them peace. But as far as money, think of it as yourself. If he said to you, oh, honey, go to work and you're going to pay all the bills, you would be like, I can't. So he can't either. I don't think anybody wants to pay bills. Nobody wakes up and says, hey, I want to have this career. I want to get paid and I want to waste all my money on bills. Nobody wants that, but that's just being an adult. That's just what you have to do. So if I was told, hey, you don't have to work another day in your life, A, I would still go to work because I love my job. And B, I don't know. I feel like I have to contribute something. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I've never been in the position for someone to take care of me in that way, but I don't know. I just don't think that the man should pay every single bill in the home.
In fact, for many of these men, it's not even about survival. It's about thriving quietly while everyone else is still trying to figure it out.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.